Oh, I suffer from toxic masculinity. Absolutely not. I cry
She hit me when I started crying. Yeah.
According to the video, the conflict between Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni began the moment she joined the project. Baldoni reportedly did not want Lively cast as the lead in It Ends With Us, but Sony allegedly insisted on hiring her due to her name recognition and ties to WME, the agency representing both her and her husband, Ryan Reynolds. The casting decision was also driven by a desire to age up the character to appeal to a broader audience. Once on board, Lively allegedly used her influence to assert creative control over the film, immediately clashing with Baldoni's original vision. Sources claim the set atmosphere quickly became tense, as Lively demanded changes to the script, wardrobe, music, and direction. What was originally Baldoni's passion project based on Colleen Hoover's novel was said to have turned into a battleground of control, with Lively allegedly maneuvering herself into positions of greater authority from the beginning. As outlined in the video, Blake Lively allegedly employed a series of escalating tactics to gain control over the film's production. Initially, she is said to have used charm, flattery, and flirtation to love bomb Justin Baldoni, behavior that insiders described as manipulative rather than genuine. When that failed to sway him, her approach reportedly shifted to more aggressive methods. She allegedly began making threats, refusing to show up on set, threatening legal action, or withholding participation in promotional efforts unless her demands were met. According to sources, she pushed for creative authority beyond her role as an actress, wanting to take over editing, wardrobe choices, music decisions, and even directing. At every turn, she allegedly used her backing from Sony and her industry connections to pressure Baldoni into compliance. The video claims that her constant threats created a hostile work environment and left Baldoni with little say in the project, despite being the film's director and financial backer. The situation reportedly took a sharp turn when Blake Lively demanded access to the film's dailies, raw footage from each day of shooting, during the actor's strike. When Justin Baldoni refused, citing his rights as director, Lively allegedly escalated the conflict by sending a legal letter through her attorneys. While the 17-point document didn't explicitly accuse him of sexual misconduct, it strongly implied inappropriate behavior, according to the video's source. This letter became a pivotal moment in the dispute, as it was said to give Lively the legal leverage she needed to override Baldoni's decisions and further dominate the project. From that point forward, Baldoni reportedly lost any remaining control over the production. The video claims this tactic was not about genuine concern, but about asserting total creative authority, positioning Lively as the driving force behind the film and forcing Baldoni into silence and submission through legal pressure and reputational risk. According to the video, once Blake Lively secured control over the initial film, her ambitions expanded. Insiders claim she aimed to take over the entire franchise, seeking to direct, edit, and produce not just the current movie, but the planned sequel based on It Starts With Us. She allegedly wanted all the credit and public recognition, pushing Baldoni further into the background. Sources suggest that Lively believed if she could portray Baldoni as incompetent, controlling, or even predatory, Sony would grant her full creative control moving forward. This led to a series of behind-the-scenes power plays, including efforts to sideline him from the film's premiere and isolate him from the rest of the cast and crew. The video alleges she made promises to fellow cast members, such as inclusion in a sequel and access to Taylor Swift's inner circle, to win their loyalty and turn them against Baldoni. In essence, Lively was reportedly laying the groundwork to frame herself as the film's savior and sole visionary, while discrediting Baldoni as a toxic presence no longer fit to be involved. The video claims that Ryan Reynolds played a direct role in escalating the tension surrounding the film. According to an insider, Reynolds allegedly called Justin Baldoni before the premiere and screamed at him, telling him not to attend and labeling him a predator. He was also accused of making a disturbing threat, suggesting he knew people who could harm Baldoni and his family if he showed up. This, paired with Blake's ongoing pressure campaign, reportedly left Baldoni and his wife feeling genuinely fearful and unsafe. The video also alleges that Reynolds used his Hollywood influence to further isolate Baldoni, helping to spread negative narratives behind the scenes and solidify Blake's position. These reported threats, combined with the manipulation of cast members and control over media messaging, contributed to what was described as a campaign of intimidation, intended to erase Baldoni from the premiere and the project entirely, and to make it appear as though he had distanced himself by choice. Blake Lively allegedly used promises of celebrity access and career advancement to manipulate the cast into siding with her. According to the video, she claimed to have close ties to Taylor Swift and told cast members they could join Swift in VIP boxes at football games and be welcomed into her inner circle, offers that never materialized. The source claims Lively hadn't attended any games in 2024 and that her relationship with Swift was deteriorating at the time, but the cast was unaware. In addition to dangling access to Swift, Lively reportedly promised roles in a future sequel she planned to direct, offered to pay for cast travel, and gave them gifts. These actions allegedly led many cast members to unfollow Baldoni on social media and adopt Lively's narrative of him being difficult or dangerous, despite no personal negative experiences. The video portrays this as a calculated campaign to isolate Baldoni, secure loyalty, and silence dissent through a combination of bribery, deception, and social leverage. As the production continued, the set reportedly descended into a toxic environment dominated by fear and tension. According to The Insider, Blake Lively's constant demands, threats, and erratic behavior left the crew walking on eggshells. Team members were allegedly afraid to speak freely around her, worried she might twist their words or fabricate stories to damage reputations. Many avoided interacting with her entirely, forcing Baldoni to handle all communication, further increasing his stress. By the time filming resumed in January, the source claims Baldoni had lost all creative passion and was emotionally drained. The film went 2 weeks over schedule, allegedly due to Blake's continued disruptions. Despite being the project's director and producer, Baldoni reportedly felt stripped of power, cornered by studio pressure, and unable to push back without risking more retaliation. The culture on set, as described in the video, was one of submission, where Lively's word became law and resistance meant personal or professional risk. After principal photography ended, Blake Lively reportedly escalated her efforts to completely take over the project by dominating the post-production process. According to The Insider cited in the video, Lively was no longer satisfied with simply being the lead actress. She now wanted control over editing, producing, and even directing the film. Despite not being contractually assigned these roles, she allegedly inserted herself into every key decision, often overriding Justin Baldoni's authority as the film's official director and creative lead. Sources claim that Lively routinely demanded changes to the film's structure, tone, and pacing. She allegedly insisted on being involved in editing sessions, tried to dictate the final cut, and even challenged the promotional strategy, wanting it centered around her and her supposed creative leadership. Sony, already heavily invested in the project financially and concerned with Lively's star power and her husband Ryan Reynolds' industry influence, reportedly backed her demands. As a result, Baldoni's creative control steadily eroded, with the studio allegedly pressuring him to comply in order to avoid further disruption or delays. The Insider said that whenever Lively agreed to a creative decision, she would often reverse her stance shortly after, causing chaos and forcing constant rework. This, paired with her ability to leverage Sony's support, left Baldoni with virtually no say in how the final product was assembled. Every time he tried to assert control or push back, he was reportedly met with more threats, ranging from potential lawsuits to accusations of retaliation under the terms of the earlier 17-point legal agreement she had imposed. What was most devastating, according to the source, was how Lively allegedly spun this entire power grab as evidence of Baldoni's incompetence. Behind the scenes, she reportedly told cast and crew members that he wasn't contributing, didn't care about the film, or was checked out. This narrative was further reinforced when she orchestrated his absence from the film's premiere, something The Insider claims was the result of direct intimidation from both Lively and Reynolds, not a lack of interest on Baldoni's part. The ultimate goal, as described in the video, was for Lively to receive full public credit for the film. She wanted to position herself as the driving creative force behind the production, someone who had to step in and save it. In doing so, she hoped to secure the opportunity to direct and produce the sequel, It Starts With Us, under the Sony banner. To achieve that, she allegedly needed to erase Baldoni from the picture, not only physically but also in reputation. Every step of the way, from legal threats and media manipulation to studio pressure and on-set dominance, was part of a larger strategy to make the film hers, both on paper and in public perception. The video paints a grim picture of how media outlets, legal teams, and powerful industry players allegedly worked in concert to protect Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, while suppressing Justin Baldoni's side of the story. According to The Insider, many major news organizations are fully aware that Lively's accusations were either exaggerated or entirely false. However, they refuse to correct the narrative. The reason? Legal liability. If these outlets admit they were misled, they risk being sued by Baldoni for defamation or libel. Admitting fault would also damage their credibility and cost them subscribers, views, and advertisers. So instead, they allegedly double down on the original false narrative. This media complicity, according to the source, is just one part of a much larger pattern of corruption. Witnesses who might testify on behalf of Baldoni or speak out publicly are reportedly being silenced through intimidation, manipulation, and harassment. The video claims that process servers have been used aggressively, PR firms have been weaponized, and people tied to the production, especially those without significant financial means, have been scared into silence. Some crew members are allegedly being threatened with career consequences if they speak out, while others are being promised access, opportunities, or protection if they stay loyal to Lively. The insider also alleges that Hollywood insiders are terrified of going against Lively and Reynolds due to their deep ties with WME and Sony. Many fear being blacklisted from future projects or cut off from the industry's inner circles if they speak honestly. Even when people are willing to testify or tell the truth, they're reportedly warned that doing so could have devastating personal and professional consequences. This fear-driven silence creates a distorted public record, one that favors the powerful and buries the facts. According to the video, the real corruption is not limited to the courtroom or a single judge. It's systemic. The alleged manipulation of journalists, the coercion of cast and crew, and the exploitation of legal loopholes all contribute to a coordinated effort to destroy Baldoni's reputation while shielding Blake and Ryan from scrutiny. This section of the video emphasizes that the true danger lies in how celebrity, media, and money can be used to rewrite reality, turning victims into villains and suppressing accountability with fear. The video concludes with a deeply personal and sobering look at the toll this ordeal has allegedly taken on Justin Baldoni. According to the insider, Baldoni is emotionally devastated, disillusioned with Hollywood, and suffering from severe anxiety and trauma. He and his wife have reportedly relocated to Costa Rica for peace and safety, with no immediate plans to return to California or the entertainment industry. While public photos show him surfing, the source insists these are not signs of relaxation, but rather of a man trying to heal from what's described as a psychological and professional breakdown. Despite being pushed out of his own project, Baldoni is said to be unwilling to settle or walk away silently. He reportedly wants to clear his name, not just for his own reputation, but to expose what he believes is a broader pattern of abuse of power, manipulation, and corruption within Hollywood. The source claims he's not interested in salvaging his career so much as holding those responsible accountable and restoring the truth about what happened. Meanwhile, the video asserts that Blake Lively continues to push the false narrative that she saved the film and was its creative force, despite the damage allegedly done to Baldoni, the crew, and the original vision of the project. Ryan Reynolds' alleged threats, Sony's complicity, and the media's silence all remain part of what the creator describes as a multi-layered cover-up designed to protect profit and reputation. In the end, the insider warns that the true cost of this saga is not just one man's career, it's a cautionary tale about how unchecked power, influence, and fear can corrupt an entire system. Those who challenge that system, especially without the same level of fame or financial backing, risk being silenced, scapegoated, and erased. According to the video, that's exactly what happened to Justin Baldoni, and it may take years for the full truth to surface.